when it comes to covering your book and decorating it, what you need to do is first of all finish your word, which is what I've done here, and then the next thing is to cut out any excess papers. So as you can see, I've already cut a few out, and I'm just finishing cutting off the green one. And you can cut as close as you want to. You can either cut to the edge of your spine or leave a couple of mil in. So I've done that side, and then I'm going to turn it over, and I just want to cut this part off. And don't worry if it's a little bit messy, because nobody's going to see it once you've decorated it with all the other elements. So let's just cut that bit out. There we go. So once you finish cutting out your extra pages, you're ready to decorate. Now this is the word believe, and as you can see, you've got this lovely green. So I've picked some papers that have some green on it. So I want to emphasize my book. And you don't have to do that, because you can decorate it however you want. We've got some samples on here, this one here that's been decorated, and we've used the red, as you can see on there, and to emphasize with the black. Now what I've done here is I've got my papers. Now my top tip when it comes to decorating is turn your paper the other way around, and then hold it up to the book, and I'm going to leave a little white edge, or so a green edge. Get my pencil, make a mark like so, there's one, and then I'm going to make another mark like that, and then I'm going to use a paper trimmer. So you don't actually need to measure. So this is my paper trimmer. I line up my first mark like so, put that down, and then cut to there. And then I turn it round, and then I've got my next one, and then I'm ready to back the first part of my book. And keep these, because you'll be able to use it for your spine. So there is my front part of my book decorated, and the next thing I want to do is put my topper on. Now these are called book toppers, and they've been designed for you to actually trim them down to whatever size you want. So I'm literally going to trim a little bit off by either side to emphasize the paper behind there. And this is when it comes to decorating. Use the colour. So I've used the green from the book, and I want these lovely pinks to go in. So I've just trimmed it down a little bit, and I've used the measurement that you have on the side of your paper trimmer. So so I know exactly how much I'm cutting off at either side. So I'm just cutting that like so. There we go. And then I'm ready to stick that in. So once you're happy with your toppers, it's all about gluing it together. So I'm just going to move that out the way like so. And I've got my backing paper and my topper. Now you do need to use a strong glue, and I would recommend, if you're not going to use glue, use a really strong double-sided tape. And the beauty about using wet glue is you can slide it onto place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it onto there first, so it's in the middle. And once I'm happy with where it's going to be positioned, I then will get my book, and I'm going to put that on top of there. Now you can do two ways. You can put it directly onto the paper, or if you know where it's going to go, you can just put the glue on your book. Now because some books are made out of leather, some books are made out of pressed card paper, you do need to have a strong bond on that. Put that on there, slide it into place like so. There we go. And then all I'm going to do is turn it on its side like that. And remember the offcuts that we cut earlier. All I'm going to do is just hold that into place like so. I'm literally going to use my pencil again. Make a mark. I don't need to trim it down because it's the exact size I want. And while I'm at this point, I'm going to turn that over and then make sure on the back of it, I do exactly the same. Get my mark where I want to do. So there's one mark there and then one mark here. Then move it out the way and trim it all down. And this is one of my top tips, is just use a pencil and just a paper trimmer. And then it cuts out all the measuring. And then there we go, trim it down like so. So that's my back part, and then this will be my spine for the book cover. Trim it down. And then the next thing is just putting it all together. So I'm going to start with my spine. And this time I'm going to just literally put it down the middle. And then nobody knows what book you've used. Line it up and just smooth it off a little bit. There we go. Turn it over. Do the same with your back part. Make sure you're happy with it. put your glue on. I mean, you could tie ribbons, you can put flowers on them. There's so many different ways to decorate your book. All you just need to do is decide on your colour combination. But there you go. So have a go and happy crafting. You've got the front, the ends and the back of it.